Hey everyone, it's Kato, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some designing in Animal Crossing. We're going to be giving this very empty entrance a spooky makeover. But before we get into the designing, I do want to thank Gameloft and Disney Dreamlight Valley for sponsoring today's video. I am so excited to be sharing that you're actually getting an exclusive sneak peek of Disney Dreamlight Valley's brand new expansion, Wishblossom Ranch. Nestled deep in the Wishblossom Mountains, this magical ranch used to be full of life, with stables bustling and horses roaming free. But when you arrive, you'll see that it's fallen into disrepair, and it's up to you, alongside your Disney friends, to find the missing horses and restore the ranch to its former glory. Along with some fresh new characters who are joining your valley adventures, like Snow White, Maximus, and even Tinkerbell. But the biggest feature of all is the addition of horses. You will not only get to customize and take care of the horses, but they'll also be able to help you out with your daily tasks. And yes, you can even ride them around your valley. They just had a huge showcase live stream with the full reveal of Wishblossom Ranch, but if you missed it, that's okay. You can go back and watch it anytime on the official Disney Dreamlight Valley YouTube channel. And the best part, Wishblossom Ranch officially launches on November 19th, 2025 for Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And you can even wishlist it now on most platforms, so you'll be ready as soon as it releases. I will have all of the information listed down below. I can't wait to see you all in Wishblossom Ranch. And thank you so much again to Gameloft for sponsoring today's video. All right, so this is the area that I'm working with. Obviously, it's the entrance, and I have no real plan other than I know that I want it to be spooky. I do have some items here, and I'm just gonna kind of go with this. You know, I didn't really do a full-on mood board. I don't even know if I want to use custom patterns or not. Like, maybe I should not, but maybe I want to. I don't know yet. I think I'm just going to get started. Let me put on my little island designer, which I do hate that I have to have this little helmet on because I like my outfit. Like, it totally changes the vibe of the outfit. I was wondering about potentially doing a bridge right here. Can a bridge be too wide? No, there's no way, right? Let me go grab a bridge. Of course, Tom Nook has to stop and tell me how much debt I'm in. Okay, so I was thinking of having a stone bridge, but just the bridge, not all of the water around it, which I have done something like that before at an entrance. Part of me wants to have it again. I just want to see what it looks like. I'm just not really sure if it can fit over here. Okay, so I think it just needs to be wider. I feel like it can probably be 3 wide, but if I want it to be here, it needs to be 4 because then it wouldn't be centered. Oh, but I also don't want it to be like too long. Okay, I'm wondering if I need to extend this and then maybe I can get rid of it after the bridge is built. Why do I have like no recollection of doing this? There we go. Okay, let me imagine it. Please tell me it's cute and little. It is. I mean, it's not as little as I want it to be, but it's not bad. I'm gonna commit to it. And if it looks ugly later, I'll delete it. Okay, I'm really hoping that I have the money to pay this off. I have plenty. Let's go. Let's just grab 200,000. Sure, I'll help. Let's give as much as possible. Let's go. Okay, we've got the bridge. Let's go to the next day and see what it looks like. Okay, moment of truth. Here is the bridge. I think I like it. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to decorate around it to really know what it's gonna look like. I might wanna put some bushes or some flowers or something in front. Or even like items or something could go in the front of it. I feel like maybe I have done this for a spooky island before. I've had a bridge like this. I also want to do a little bit of terraforming to start because I think I want just like a cliff of some sort on this side. So let me quickly do something like that. I ended up getting the big moon item and I would love to use that, but it's really hard for me to find ways to use it. Let me grab it and put it over here. This is one of those items that I love when other people use it, but for some reason when I'm using it, I don't love it as much. So I was thinking if I could get a cliff over here, maybe I could find a way to put the moon on top of the cliff. Terraforming is one of those things that you kind of forget how long it takes until you're trying to do it. And you're putting up each individual cliff, but at the same time, I don't want it to change. I like the process of putting each individual cliff up, even if it does take a long time. I don't know. I just really like it. Okay, let me try the moon up here on this cliff and see what we think about it. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I kind of hate it. Oh, why do I hate it? I think we just need to keep going. I think I need to start laying down some type of path or something, and then some items, and we'll go from there. So I'm thinking of using in-game path. Let me see what the dark dirt looks like. Bye, balloon. I don't necessarily hate the dark dirt so far, but I also don't know if I like it, but I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just committing. It's gotten to the point now where if I don't have a set idea, I just kind of have to commit to something and then hope for the best. If I try to sit and think about it too long, then I just get, paralysis by analysis. I'm just kind of overthinking, too much thought process involved, and nothing ever happens. Okay, so we've got the dark dirt leading around to the bridge. So if I was going to make a full island out of this, which is not my intention is just to do an entrance. But I would think that I would want this path to extend up and through this way. So it would kind of be continued like this. Challenging myself to use the in-game pathing is probably one of my favorite things to do. Personally, I love when you're using the in-game path and you get to look at it on the map. I don't know, I just love the way a full map using in-game pathing looks. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the flexibility and just the way that you can customize an island using custom paths. Like, I love them both. But when I can make an area look good using in-game path, I don't know, it feels really good. I don't think I really need to go all the way to the plaza because this is just for the entrance itself, but I need to give it a little bit of direction. Okay, yeah, I probably did way too much. I did way more than I needed to do there. Let me dig up this money spot really quick and that fossil. So the only problem that I'm having with this right now is it is a lot of pathing. So now I've got to figure out where I want to put the actual items and what the vibe is going to be. So let me come in here and I'm just going to grab a pretty big pocket full of items and just see where things take me. I think I also probably need to leave room for some trees, maybe some bushes. I don't even know if I have bushes yet. Part of me really wants to find a way to use this stonework kitchen, but sometimes it's hard to work with, and I don't know if any of these customizations really fit what else I'm going to be doing. Maybe the black version? Okay, see, I don't hate that right there, but I really can't layer anything with it. The decayed trees are such a good item, but they are hard for me to work with because the space that they take up is so substantial. Like, I won't be able to use anything else right next to it if I use a decayed tree. Now, I do love the spooky lantern set. This is probably one of my favorite items in the game. I have used them a ton, and I just think there's so many things that you can do with it. See, I don't like the way this ruined broken pillar looks because we have the bridge right here, which makes me wonder if I need to take the bridge out and do something completely different. Just the way this looks so worn down and then the bridge has kind of nothing. The bridge is very clean. I feel like matching these two aesthetics is difficult to do. I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna grab a couple of trees because filling a space with trees always helps me to kind of envision what I'm working on. Why do I have so many pear trees? What is going on? Where are all my normal trees? Is every tree a pear tree? Okay, no, here's some normal trees. I might also grab some cedars. It's not often that I use the cedar trees actually because I just prefer the way the hardwood trees look. But anytime I'm doing like a spooky theme or Halloween theme, whatever, I am tempted to use cedar trees. All right, let's try a tree in the corner over here. Again, another problem with this bridge is it's kind of limited all of the spaces that I can put trees because it's not going to let me put them right here. I already can't put them right here. And with this path here, you know, the bridge might have to go. I'm going to try to work with it a little bit more, but the bridge is becoming a big problem. But if I get rid of the bridge, I need to have a plan for the focal point of the middle right here. I destroyed the bridge. I just couldn't make it work. I don't know. I wanted more trees up here. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So we're getting rid of the bridge. That is just how things go. When you don't have a plan and you try to commit to things, sometimes those things don't work. And that's okay, because we're going to come up with something great. All of that is cleaned up and gone. Now we can kind of fix this path. We don't have to have the path going around the way we had it. I do like the way it kind of splits here at the front, but I think instead of having it go in, oh my gosh, what's happening? I think I want to keep it here on the left, but maybe on the right, we just have it go out this way instead of coming back in. That'll give us plenty of space to work with here and decorate. Yeah, something like that. That looks pretty nice. Maybe we'll also pretend like this is gonna go out as well. Having some kind of concept of a path for me is pretty important when I'm designing, especially if I'm designing the entrance, because it kind of gives me just these smaller spaces to work with. Because if I'm looking at just like one big empty piece of land, that can be overwhelming for me. I need to like make things a little bit smaller. So now when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about decorating it, I've got this little space, and then I've got this space, and then I've got whatever I'm going to do back here, probably some sort of cliff or something. And then we've obviously got the cliff too, but these are all like tiny individual spaces rather than the big open space. It's always pretty easy for me to modify the paths too if what I end up designing becomes bigger in scope than what I initially, not really what I initially intended, because I don't have any intentions, but if I want it to be bigger, I can just change the direction of the paths. Like if I wanted to extend back here, I could just make the path turn here instead. Does that make sense? Do y'all care? I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking when I'm putting this entrance together. Oh my gosh, speaking of terrifying, we've got, is this Marcy? I don't like any of the kangaroos. Okay, we could try the stonework kitchen again. Ooh, do I like it now? Because I could have a tree. Wait, let me pull it forward actually. We could have a tree behind it. I don't know, that's kind of a good little vibe right there. Okay, that might be too close, the tree there. I wonder if I want the tree over a little bit more. Okay, what about something like that? Can I make these ruined things work now? I don't hate it. Because what if I had the arch back here? I don't know. I'm really trying to figure this out. Because now I'm almost wondering if this path needs to just go straight through here. The cedar trees are so challenging to work with because they're just so big. Like I need the smaller ones. Like when the cedar trees are off in the distance, I don't dislike what they look like, but when they're so up close and they're so big, I don't love it. I really want to find a reason to use the park clock. I don't know, something about the park clock combined with this other stuff just makes it feel like so ominous. I don't know. Okay, this is one of those situations like I was talking about earlier where now that I have things set up and I like the way that they're looking, I'm gonna kind of have to rework the pathing a little bit. I'm gonna try to change this up and have this going down the middle and see how we feel about that. Which means I'm also going to be removing this section. Do I want to change this side too and have it go out from here? Oh, but then it's very symmetrical. You're gonna have to move. Go somewhere else. I don't know. It is very symmetrical and I don't normally like that, but let's just keep going. It seems to be just the vibe of how we're having to do this. It's just to keep going. Ooh, a little creepy skeleton right there. I like that. Does the street organ feel creepy when you combine it with all this other stuff? Because I feel like it kind of does. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. None of this makes sense. Like what's happening over here? But do I like the way it looks? I think so. Part of me also really wants to use, maybe I'll move this for now. I want to use this, what is it called? Retro transportation stop. But is it too matchy-matchy with the size of that thing? Maybe if we have it further back, I could do another thing of pathing right here. Or maybe that would solve our problem of it being symmetrical. The path could be up here, but then what's gonna be in the front? You know, the more I look at this angle, I don't hate the moon up there now. So there's that. But everything else is frustrating. I keep coming back to something like this, like with the park clock on one side and the telephone booth on another side, and then this creepy little bus stop thing. But I'm struggling to make it work. I'm just adding pathing around it and hoping for the best at this point. I'm pretty sure I had path here at some point during this. So the amount of times that I've changed this path is kind of crazy. Now that I have it set up like that, I don't hate it. I wonder if I should do like a small pond right here. I have to be careful. It can't be too big because I still want to add some trees and stuff. This may not happen actually. As I'm putting this in here, I think it's just gonna limit what I do way too much. My only option is to have some kind of little like river type thing going through here, which I could have. The amount of times of me trying to make water work and then having to get rid of all of it. Let me put my path back here. She's chasing me! Please, leave me alone. I do not have time right now. All right, we're gonna try some fencing over here. I hate that. Why is it going so far away from the path? Does it always do that? I'm so confused right now. It's literally so far away. What? Okay, I do like that tree right there. And I'm gonna build up a little bit of cliff right here just to help me oops, I don't mean to do that. But just to help me enclose this space a little bit. I'm not worried about this being too perfect, but there is a chance that I'm gonna wanna have another layer on top of this and then potentially have some waterfalls or something. Although part of me is tempted to do no water in this because I keep trying to make water work and it's not working. Okay, let me just see what we have so far. Yeah, that looks nice. That just helps when I'm looking at this whole big picture. It kind of blocks out some of that stuff on the left, which helps me to kind of envision what else I'm doing. This tree is in my way and I don't like it and I don't like seeing it. I'm also gonna get rid of the money spot over here. And everyone say bye, balloon. I'm gonna move this actually to this corner right here. That's not the corner. There we go. Do I want all of this moved forward so it's a little bit more like on the path? I think I do like that. She literally will not leave me alone. She's obsessed with me. One time I heard a tragic story that left me feeling terrible. Aw, oh no. Now I'm getting sad all over again. Okay. Thanks for chasing me all around the island to tell me how to be sad. I really appreciate it. I feel like I need something in this spot right here, but maybe it should just be a weed or something. That is not where what? No! Can I not have a weed right here? Oh, it's like on the half space. Okay, never mind. Forget that I tried it. I think I want a tree right here. If it'll let me. It might not let me because of that spooky tree. I don't know. Oh, but does that block too much of the cauldron? Fauna, please leave. I mean, it's not perfect, but that's probably better. I really want to make some of this fencing work, like the spooky fencing, but okay, maybe there and then here. No, not there. Maybe just like a piece or two. I don't think I can put anything right here, but maybe once I have bushes and flowers in here, it'll work. Okay, now I need to figure out what is gonna go in this space. Okay, I grabbed a bunch of wheat fields and some barrels, and I'm gonna see if I can make these work. I already hate that. Okay, hang on. Wheat fields are very hard for me to work with because it takes so many of them, in my opinion, for me to make them look good. Like that just looks bad. It just doesn't look good right there. It just doesn't. But maybe in this space, because if we have a bunch of them, I have to offset them just right. Is that all I have? Okay, I think I need one more. And then maybe if I have some of these barrels, because what if I had this here and then a sideways one like that? Oh, wait, this could work. Let me go grab another wheat field. Kind of like that. I wish I could have something right in front right here. Ooh, what about that street organ? Wait, that's kind of cute right there. Okay, see, this is the moment when everything starts to come together and you start to feel like you didn't just waste an hour and a half of your life. Because now you can see the vision. The vision that was never there, but that you were hoping would come together. Ooh, what about a spooky tower right here? I've got to balance my spooky tower situation. Ooh, I could do a pillar. Not there, but what if we had a pillar on this side of the phone booth? I like that, I think. Okay, what if I had a pumpkin on top of here? I don't hate that with the pumpkin on top of the barrel right there. Because then I think if we added a couple more pumpkin things right here, this is kind of coming together. I could also do another set of barrels right here. What does this brick well look like? Ooh. I like it, but I don't like it. I like it, but only from certain angles. So let me try. I grabbed like a gravestone. See, something like that might work better. Oh, but it's just so large. I don't know. Why am I starting to hate this? Should I try something else right here? Because what if I did the brick well and then we did like a taller pillar? Do I get rid of the cauldron? Why am I like this? I know what's going to happen too. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to do all this and then I'm going to miss what that looked like. I think I don't like the moon. I'm wondering if I move the moon over a little bit, maybe we can make the moon work. I really don't know. I'm not confident in my ability to use this moon. All right, let me push it. Can I not push it? Oh, I can. Let's go right there and see. Okay. Wait, that's better. I don't hate that. It's always a shock when I don't hit. Oh, you know what? What about some wheat fields over here to kind of balance all the wheat fields from the left? I'm going to take them from my my coastal mood board over here. Just ignore the rest of my island. That's not important. Ooh, okay. And then you know what we need? We need a tree on the cliff over here. So I got to go grab another tree. Am I going to make this entire build without any flowers? I don't have any flowers or any bushes, which is not typical of me, but I don't know where they're going to fit. I think this tree needs to go here, but it's going to make this ladder inaccessible, I believe, which is fine. Aesthetics are more important than function. You know, I think it needs to go to the left a little bit more, actually. I think it needs to be right here. That means I can use my ladder again. Yeah, that's where I wanted it to be. I need to find another tree to put up here, I think, just to kind of balance the height over there. And then I need to fill up this spot. Okay, trees obtained. I was thinking, what if I put a tree here, but I chopped it down? Because I think having the full tree there obviously blocks what we've done. But if I chop it down, then that little stump is cute. And then I could just put something right here. I think this might be a good spot. It's always hard for me to know unless I'm looking from up at the front. I mean, you can't really see it. It's not close enough to balance out that height, actually. But I don't hate it. I think I'm going to try a pumpkin right here. I don't love the sheen of these pumpkins, but I do like that the size is a little bit different from these other pumpkins that I have. I'm going to see if I can add a pile of leaves right over here. But I don't want it to be exactly in line with this other one. It might be too close to the other one. I also want to see if I can add a barrel over here. Oh, that's not bad. And can I add a wheat field right here? Okay, not terrible. Internally, I am struggling a little bit with the fact that I don't have any custom designs to work with, but I'm trying to accept it. because typically I would put custom designs underneath the spooky tree just because I feel like there's so much empty space right there. But that's just personal preference. I almost want to remove this cedar tree and build up the cliff right here and make a 3-tiered cliff on this left side. I'm trying to get it pretty close to this path because I want it to be visible from the front. Okay, let me just see what that looks like. See, that is not visible, but I think if I go 1 tier up, that it will be. I don't really know what my hope is here. I feel like if I put trees up here, it's going to be too much, but I don't know. You can still barely see it. I am going to have to put a tree up here and just see, just see what it looks like. No, go back up. Back up. All right, 1 tree. I'm really just trying to balance out some of the height because there's height on the right and then no height on the left. Wait. Okay, that does kind of work. Now I think I'm going to extend it in the back just a little bit. And again, I'm not worried about this looking perfect in the back because I don't plan on continuing this island. I just want to make, you know, a little entrance. If I was continuing it, I would make all of the stuff look better, but all right, let's try that. Ooh, okay. And then can I get a cedar tree kind of close to this moon over here? Okay, wait, I don't hate that. All right, we still need... At this point, I am going to need some flowers, I believe. I think I'm going to add a little bit of fencing up here. 2 pieces. I am going to round these edges because it's just bothering me too much that I can't help myself. Okay, I think I have everything rounded. I'm just kind of fixing this cliff in the front was just not right. Just weirdly shaped. So I'm fixing that. Okay, all of that is looking better. Oh, I'm tempted to add a cliff right here, but do I need it? Maybe. But that doesn't mean I'm decorating that cliff. I just can't help myself. It feels incomplete without it. I'm gonna extend the path. If I was making this island, this path would go this way to my house. All right, rounding out all of the corners on the paths as well. There we go. You know what? I'm just gonna extend this. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just extending this to resident services. There we go. A full path around this corner. And I am gonna add a cliff over here. Okay, I'm almost done with this cliff over here. I think this is just gonna help me feel like it's more closed in and finish on that side. I just like an enclosed space. I wish I could fit a tree. I could fit a tree right here. Yeah, I just have to find one. I'm just gonna use a pear tree with no pears on it. How about that? With no pears on it, please. Thank you. There we go. That feels better running through there. That feels so much better. Okay, I think we're to the point of needing some finishing touches here. I really need, what do I need? I need flowers, bushes, stuff like that. I also feel like, you know, we've got multiple pillars on this side. What if I had another pillar right here? I think it needs to be more in front. What if it was like behind here? Oh yeah, I think that's good actually. There were just almost too many pillars on the right-hand side compared to the left. I had to balance that out a little bit. I really can't believe this whole thing started from me wanting you to use that stonework kitchen and then not using the stonework kitchen. So, but that's how it goes sometimes. Let's put a spooky little camera right there. I think I am done with the terraforming, but I do need to find some flowers and bushes. After a quick little side quest, I have some plants here, just some tulips, cosmos, some bushes, and then some different trees. I will say, I thought this entrance looked pretty good, and then the flyover made it look very unimpressive. So there's that. I am wondering, I think these bushes are going to be very green. Am I wrong? Oh no, okay. They're, okay, cute. I thought they were gonna be green, but they're not. That's fine then. Okay. I'm gonna try to get some of this stuff planted and hope that it helps to fill in some of these empty areas through here. It's crazy how I didn't think I was gonna need that many, and then you start to place them down and you realize kind of how many empty spaces there were. Okay, I have the flowers and bushes placed, and I think this entrance is done. I actually really like the way that it turned out. And obviously, like I've said, if I was going to continue with this theme of an island, I would keep building out from here. But this is typically what I do for my entrances. I start with this and then I just kind of continue out from there. I I love it. I think it's like cozy but spooky at the same time, and I really like it. So that was my spooky entrance build. I'm pretty proud of myself for not using any custom designs in this build, and I do really like the way that it turned out. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the showcase for Wishblossom Ranch over on Disney Dreamlight Valley's official YouTube channel. I will have that link down in the description. You can also wish list Wishblossom Ranch right now, and that will be available to play on November 19th. Thank you so much again to Gameloft for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.